All right, we're live. Woohoo! This is awesome. Okay, you guys, I wanted to just jump on here today to do a little bit of a fun recap. We're calling it the after conference party, but we have some of our speakers and our vendors on that have really contributed and made such a difference. And I feel so grateful to have them on at this time. Thank you so much for being here. You guys can totally mute yourself if you're not speaking, if you want, just to like avoid background noise or whatever. But if you don't want to, that works too. Either way. But I would like to go ahead and introduce, I have Tomasa Makapinlock on from Shaman from the Stars. And we have Kelly Noble on from the podcast called The Frequency Factor. We have Amy J. Winsett on, and she, I'm trying to think of what your banner says. I know what your book says.
I'm sorry, for Awakening with Amy Winsett.
Yeah, I was
spiritual mediumship. Yeah, Tammy knows me, you guys.
Like, what you want to
There's so many things. I'm the one that was selling this book. I had this poster, spoke on connecting with angels.
Absolutely. There we go. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
I just didn't know exactly which one you wanted me to say. There we go.
I know, because I know there's several things. We're good.
All right. And then Sylvia, who's been a dear friend of mine for a decade. How are you, my sweet? Your hair looks lovely. Oh, awesome. Yeah. And you had so much fun. This was your first time being a vendor with us, right?
Yes. I've always been a volunteer or an attendee, and this was the first time doing a vendor. Loved it.
That is awesome. So I don't know if your guys' screen looks exactly the same as mine, but what we're going to do is we're going to start with Tomasa. We're going to go up to Kelly and then are kind of around like this. Okay. So thank you guys so much. So Tomasa, tell us, what was your favorite thing about the conference overall?
Well, there were a lot of connections. I didn't get to participate as much because I'm so busy, but I did interact with a lot of people. I worked on a lot of light workers, we call ourselves. And I'm glad I got a chance to work on them because they need the help. You know, light workers need to be a clear channel for healing. And so working on them, I was able to help them go for that, get that. Many of them who came and laid on my table and got a cosmic blueprint alignment activation felt much better afterwards. One of the things I did at the end was participate in the drum circle with Katie Jo. And, you know, I'm a shaman. So the drum circle was like, I'm going. I haven't been able to do anything, but on the very last day at 7:00, I went to the drum circle. And I really, really love that. I was able to participate in something, right? And to really be there and feel the energy of the drums, because the drums can take you down, you know, just like ground you. And so that was beautiful. And Katie Jo is pretty amazing herself as a shaman.
You know? I agree. She actually owns a whole shop, a whole studio down in Lehigh. I don't know if you have ever been there before, but it's called Sage Canvas. Have you heard of that before?
I only heard of it on the day that she gave out information about it. And
you know,
she said, I'm only 20 minutes away on the hill in Lehigh. And I'm like, okay, where's that?
Yeah, seriously. It's just a little bit south, not too far away. But yeah, you can like rent her space for like doing all types of like, you know, your own classes or your own programs there. But yeah, it's a pretty beautiful space. This is so exciting, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. So that was one of your favorite parts, right? Like working on people, and then also you know, going ahead. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Okay, so Kelly, let's have you go ahead and go next. The answer that the question that we're answering, there we go, if I can talk right, is what was your favorite thing about the overall conference?
The overall conference, the thing was the energy. Oh my goodness. I had to like ground myself every so often because I'd be like, woo, and then, you know, reel it all in. And then I really wanted to take in Brad's class because I know about tapping and I've read books, but I've never been to a live event with it. And so that was really amazing. And then the nerve-wracking part was when he was in my class. But then, you know, it all worked out. So yeah. So I just want to thank you for being such a visionary and a networker to bring all of us together, because I've met people now as vendors and as presenters that I know I'll make that connection, or that connection will be everlasting. So thank you.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Woohoo! That's so cool. Okay, thank you for that. Amy, go ahead. What was your favorite part about the overall conference?
You know, I've been doing these for 5 years, half as long as you, Tammy. I've been coming to these conferences. And so I try to think, like, I have a lot to compare to conferences in the past. I've seen the progress throughout the years. And it's just every time, it's just mind blowing how the love and the connection between the attendees, the vendors, it's just a day where people come and feel loved. They feel accepted. They feel like they're not weird. There was one individual that came up to he came and got a reading from me after my class. He was so impressed with the class. And there were so many times he smiled. I saw him smile in the class and nod his head. And he came and told me about it later. And he goes, it's just because, he says, I didn't feel like I was a weirdo. I didn't feel like I was the only one. You made me feel normal. And so, and not just him and me in that one instance, but so many people just talking about how, or just the feeling of just that love and acceptance, and everybody seemed to be at ease and just be able to flow and talk about something like that. So along with what Kelly was saying, just like, yeah, I've watched you at least through half of this energy healing conference journey. And it blows my mind. I go, Tammy is changing the world. Tammy is changing. These things are getting huge. I mean, who would I be without her in my own business? And I don't want to overpraise you because I don't want to embarrass you, Tammy, because I do that sometimes, I'm sure. But it is literally just it. And I thought to myself, it's Tammy. Tammy is the one who owns it. She's the underneath, and she is all about love. And so I hope you know, Tammy, like your intention is very much is being met by the universe, because there is just so much love and acceptance. And I know that in and of itself has been very healing for people.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're totally making me blush over here. I appreciate your kind words. Actually, I discovered that my love language is actually words of affirmation. So and then of course it's touch. So that's why I'm like walking around hugging everybody all day long.
Same. Those are my top two as well. Same.
You guys are so kind. Oh, hey, Camilla, I got you on, girl. I got you on Sprint of Angels Healing Center. You guys are on now. Awesome. Now we're just waiting for one more person there. That's perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. You're freaking going to make me cry over here. Okay. Sylvia, what was your favorite part about the overall conference? Your turn. You're up.
Oh, my favorite part was meeting all these people and seeing the different the different walks of life and the different just like the wide variety of people who came, and yet we all are just seeking that same level of like healing and connection. And I loved seeing people's hearts. I loved that.
That's awesome. I love that too. The love and the connections. In fact, when Amy said that comment about the dude that came to your class, that was actually the number one comment that I heard at the very first conference, 10 years ago. I was like walking around and all these people are like pinching themselves. And I'm like, why are y'all pinching yourselves? And they're like, I'm not the only weird one. And I recently learned that the word weird actually means, do you guys know? Do you know what it means? It means whole.
Oh.
Isn't that freaking crazy cool?
I love that.
That's great. Where did you learn that? How do you like?
My medicine woman, Linda Stone, she's the one who taught me that.
Means whole.
You're
all whole. I love it.
It makes me happy too. So thank you so much. All right, Camilla, you're up. What was your favorite part about the overall conference?
Oh, the overall, I definitely felt the love a lot. I think with me bringing my glass walk for the first time, that was a different experience, because when I do workshops and stuff and I bring it, people know glass is there. And this time when people walked in, it would either freak them out, or freak them out. And it was cool to actually bring up what that glass represented for them in their relationship and then see them walk it across the glass. And that was really valuable to me because it was different for everyone. And every time it was just like this loving, beautiful moment at the end. Like they actually released something and actually transcended in that moment. So to see that happen at a conference, because everybody comes and goes or they do something and this was different. It wasn't just a product, it was a transformational experience. I feel like for everyone, whether like no matter where they went, I feel like it was transformational for people. And I think overall, the it was an experience that I think people will always remember. So I loved that.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I got to come over and watch a friend and a multi-conference attendee, right?
Yeah.
She was getting recorded by her super sweet husband who always accompanies her. And I got to cheer her on as she finished walking across the glass walk. And that was a really deeply meaningful experience for me. It was very heartwarming, very tender. So thank you for having the
Yeah.
courage, honestly, to bring that as a big part of the event. I felt like it hugely added because we've never had that before. That was so amazing.
Yeah, I've never done it like that before either. So that was cool. It was really cool. So thank you for letting me bring it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so cool. I totally loved it. It was like I was geeking out when I saw it.
Yeah. I only had one person break the arrow on their neck, but I definitely pushed the glass walk more than anything, but it was cool. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, who is up next? Sprint of Angels Healing Center. That's you. What was your overall favorite part about the conference? And you can go ahead and just unmute yourself, and then you should be all set to go. We're all moving all around. All right, let's see here. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Go ahead. Oh, it looks like I can't really hear you that well. If you come a little bit closer, I should be able to hear you. I apologize.
Hi, this is Leanne from Spirit of Angels Healing Center, and I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties, but my nephew.
No, you're just fine. I can hear you now. So thank you for moving it closer. That's beautiful.
I can't.
Oh man, I think your volume it must be getting affected. I don't know if you're holding it on the speaker of the phone or what. I'm sorry. Go ahead and talk extra loud and then maybe we can hear you.
Or turn up your volume.
My volume's all the way up.
I am technically deficient.
No, you're good. You're totally good.
It's okay, I own it. I don't know how to run technology. Could you repeat the question, please?
Oh, I was just wondering, like, what was your favorite thing about the overall conference?
Well, so this was my first experience being a vendor. I've been a attendee many times throughout the years, and you're a powerful woman. Thank you, Tammy, for what you do. I've seen
Thank you.
evolution of your conference. I'm honored to be part of it. So, as a vendor, I think my favorite part was the sound collective. I have to admit that was.
Oh yeah.
And it was the only class and event I was able to attend. So
That is awesome. Yeah, and I heard such incredible things about your booth too. You had the drink that people could come and sample. You had the biofield tuning that was going on with Rochelle Rogers, and so I just love that too. And tell me a little bit about when you went to the Sound Collective. What was that like for you?
Just all of those women. It's all of those women with their own special unique gifts, all coming together and playing in harmony. And it just raised the frequency. So amazing at your conference. It really did. The vibration was high.
Thank you. That is awesome. Yeah, they're very talented. to be able to harmonize together and flow like that, because they didn't know each other really until like they showed up. One's from Illinois, like they're from all over the place, and they came together, and it was just so powerful. I heard many good things about that. Thank you so much for your comments. That is just awesome. All right, Sandra, you are up. She's right in the middle here. Sandra, what was your favorite thing about the overall conference?
I would say it was just getting to interact with so many amazing people. Like I had so much fun just getting to talk to people, both vendors and just the people who were there. Like it was just a really fun day with fun days really with so much energy. And there were so many comments like throughout the days talking about, oh my gosh, the energy here is so amazing. And so it was just really a lot of fun to get to interact with people. And I kind of live an isolated life. So for me, it was awesome to just get to be surrounded by amazing people and get to interact with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your comments. Tomasa, is this your Dwayne right here commenting? That's what I thought. I'm like, hi, Dwayne. I got all excited when I saw his name. That is very cool. Well, thank you so much, Dwayne, for your kind words. That is so nice. Becky Kidd says, I think for me, it was how opening it was for me. I probably would not have gone by myself, but I attended with my niece who wants to become a life coach and was amazed at how full I felt. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Jennifer Brasseur says, it was an amazing experience. And I had a great time. Lots of great comments. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Okay, the next question that we're going to be asking, and that's both to those of you who are watching right now and also to you who are on our panel today. And that is, we would like to know if you had just a moment at the conference that was something that was really memorable to you, something that was deeply meaningful. So I want you guys to be thinking about that. And I'm going to go ahead and start again with Tomasa. She's like, crap, why'd you ask? I could reach your mind, girl. Oh, you're muted. Let's unmute you first, and then we'll have you comment. You guys be thinking about it, because we're gonna be coming around to you next.
Well, I think one of the most memorable moments is, well, I always love to do cosmic clarity sessions. That's me reading their natal charts and just, sitting there and reading someone's chart, and they're just like nodding their head like, yeah, you got me, you hear me. And just, really helping them activate the area of their chart that needs the help. Those are some of the most memorable moments I hear. And then I got to meet, this is it. I got to meet somebody who I hadn't met at any of the conferences. And I did a cosmic clarity session for her. And then she had, upgraded and bought some other things. So to actually get to hug her and see her was just beautiful, to actually have that physical connection. And so I got to work on her. So she came, and the funny thing about it is she couldn't come to, I think it was the St. George one. She's like, I can't come, I can't be in public. But after working with me, she came back out in public. So
oh my gosh,
that's a big one. So
that's a way big deal. And also that human connection, I think, is so powerful, right? Like,
yes.
Especially we started to value that during 2020, because when something gets taken away from you, then you realize, oh my gosh, how much you value it. But for someone who hadn't been able to go out in public, that's such a big deal. I am like,
yeah.
That is so cool. And your ability to hold space for people is just incredible too. Literally. Like, I remember the session I did with you. I felt so seen. So seen. I mean, do you remember? I cried through the whole.
I remember. I'm very touched by it, but I'm also very humble.
I was like, what the heck? How do you know me so well? Powerful. All right, Kelly, what about you? Did you have one of those moments that was deeply meaningful to you at the conference?
Yes, I did. I had a session with Dr. Walter. Oh my goodness.
Cool.
And I didn't know what to expect. I just had felt drawn to her, and I had this thing going on with my eye for I don't a couple of years now, and it was just, she reminded me that when she works with people, my people, like native people in New Mexico, that they just believe. And that's what I just needed to hear, because I just believed. And while she worked on me, I was walking back to my booth, and all of a sudden something shifted, and just almost a little pop. And I was like, whoa. And I was so clear in this eye. I was like, this is why we do what we do as natural healers. We're even though we're light bearers, natural healers, life coaches, all of that, we don't know everything. So it's so nice to have all of us gathered in one place and rely on each other and go to each other for healing, because that self-care is so important. And a lot of us, we just let it go and we care about everybody else but ourselves. So that was such a good reminder to me to take care of myself.
That is awesome. And you know that Louise, Dr. Schwartzwater, she is from New Mexico.
Yeah, I found that out.
Yeah, which I love. That's so cool. I was like, oh, I only know one other person from there, and that's you. So that was way cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Amy, I would love to hear from you, baby. What was deeply meaningful for you?
And I stay so busy in my class or at my booth, and this time I didn't get to spread out much. I will always put in a good word for Marlise Hyde. She does the microcurrent, and she has fixed me and my family in 10 minutes, and we're just like good to go for pain relief, the shoulder, my husband's this, my daughter's jaw, like 10 minutes and $20 at her booth, and your life has changed. We were too busy this time to visit her, but we have been visiting them otherwise as well, so we were good. But one thing that's really interesting to me is I do the readings at my booth. I connect with people's angels, past loved ones, spirit guides, to give them the messages they need for their soul's healing, and so they can fulfill their soul purpose. And there was a gal that was from Bolivia, and she had scheduled at a time on the first day, that Friday, and I got busy. She said, "Oh, I'll just come at the end of the day." The end of the day came very quickly too, and I just didn't have time for her then. So we put her at the end of the Saturday. So she's just jumping all around on the books, and then it was finally her time to read. She goes, "Are you sure you have the energy?" I said, "We're doing this. Sit down. We're going to do this read." And here's the underlying point. We had a great session. We saw some things that desperately needed to be validated in her energy, and some messages that she needed, and a connection to her mother and father that had passed. It was very powerful. But what hits me deeply is that sometimes this is the only time I will ever see some of these people or ever be able to work on them, and offering these little 20-minute sessions. They may never come to West Haven up to my spa here and get a massage and reading or anything like that. And so it's as much as we're there to meet new people and hopefully have clients that want to come and that we can help again in the future, it just isn't always for that purpose. So every time I finish a conference, what hits me so deeply is, Amy, what if you hadn't come? What if those readings hadn't happened? Because most of them, I never see again. So, and yet they walk away with that piece of healing, that validation, and some encouragement to know direction, how to move forward with their lives. So that always hits me very deeply at the conferences.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That's really beautiful. Okay, Sylvia, you want to go next, girl?
Yeah, so I felt the same way, Amy. I felt like I kind of missed out because I didn't get to walk around and go to classes. I loved that about volunteering. If anybody's thinking about volunteering, do it. Awesome. But I doing half-hour sessions and seeing all these people come across through my booth, and it was amazing. And I was trying to think of one of those, but I think who were the patch people? Like they were putting a patch on people's arm. Yeah, those. Yes.
Yeah, that's my friend Kim Harrington. She came from Montana.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're hauling stuff out. It's been a long day, a long weekend. And my sweet husband comes in off of his hard job to come and help me, and he can barely stand up straight. And they just attacked him with patches. They're like, "Here, take one of these. Here, take one of these." And they jumped in and saved him so that he could save me. And I thought that was so, and it was just representative of what everybody was willing to do this weekend.
Yeah.
I saw it multiple times. People just like, "You've got a need? Hold on. I got something that can help, and here you go."
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Dang, that's awesome. I love that. I have to tell you, I didn't see them until the end of the conference either. But my husband kept trying to tell me, "You need to go over there. You need to go over there. You need to go over there." And I finally had a break that I could go over there, right? And I was like, "Kim," because I haven't seen her, for a few years. I think she took like 4 years off from doing conferences, but she's back. And she's like, "Where do you hurt?" And I'm like, "The bottom of my feet, and up my legs a little bit." Felt like they were on fire, actually. And they put the patches on me, and within 1 minute, I was like, "What the heck is that? Did you put drugs in me?" I was like, "What is that?" Because my pain went away. It disappeared like that. And I was like, "Dude, what did you just do to me? That's not normal."
Yeah.
Especially right after the conference. But my pain went away.
Yeah.
And my husband's like, "That's why I told you to go over there." So anyway, I also got to experience that, and I appreciated that too. They were more than generous. They gave me like an extra like 10 patches for the next few days. They're like, "You're gonna need this in your recovery. Just take this." So I texted her this morning, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm buying a bunch of those. Where do I get those?"
Yeah.
They worked so well.
Yeah, and it was just representative of everybody's open hearts, and that's what touched me.
That's so beautiful. I love that. Yeah, and I feel like this is like a QR code. I was like,
yeah, I know. It's like a human QR code.
Yeah. I'm like, how does this work? That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That's so beautiful. Camilla, do you want to go ahead and go next? We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, sure. I think I'm going to share, just be real and share where I've been and kind of a little bit of my journey because it will lead to that moment. So, this last year, I got a divorce a year ago, and I decided, for 3 years, I've been thinking I should go this direction with my niche. And I'm like, you know what? I'm getting a divorce. I may as well I'm already changing my whole identity. Like, why not just step into it? It has been a hell of a time, okay? Like, this last year, I have been just, even my kids, very embarrassed by what I do. They don't understand, they're virgins. Um, and then, going to B&I groups, networking groups, being rejected over and over, but still, standing in my power and saying, no, this is what people seriously need help with. And I have just been like, this is my last hurrah because I have not sold one damn thing. And that's not like me. Like, I have made a lot of money with what I do. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I was like, this is my last hurrah. I'm going to pay for this and I'm going to do this. And I'm going all in. And I finally got sales. Like, I finally got sales. And in my speaking thing, it was the first time I was like, I am going to be real and I am going to really talk about the problems here. And I had so many people come and say, thank you. Like, I understand what's happening now. And and even people that help them understand their previous divorce and what was going on in the mind of the woman and what they need to work on. And so I just had this moment. I actually cried a bunch the last couple days. Not good cries and good cries, all the same thing, the same thing. But I'm really grateful because it helped me understand better too with actually talking to people one-on-one of how to really speak about this in a way that can help people. And so I feel like I finally got my message dialed in. and know what it resonates. And so that was really meaningful for me. So thank you, Tammy. I really
Yes.
appreciate it so much.
Yes, absolutely. And I personally have not ever gone through a divorce, but I've been through transitions that were very difficult. And so I'm just sending you lots of love.
Thank you.
I was the child of, a single mom. I watched my mom go through 4 divorces, in my childhood, and I watched the pain that she endured through that. It is not for
It's
the
tough.
So yeah, for sure. But really, truly, you brought so much value. And if you ever do a retreat for women around sensuality, I want you to know I'm there because I
Okay.
talk pretty openly about like some of the things, but I realized like I homeschooled my older daughters, and I asked my 24-year-old one time, I said, how was your like education on that? And she's like, you made jokes about it all the time. You never told me. I didn't even know the mechanics of how it worked. Like, I didn't even get the basics. And I was like, holy what? Like, I didn't even know. And I'm like, this is really bad. So then I went to my next daughter and she's like, my sisters taught me. And I'm like, well, at least you had older sisters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know that they're not the only ones. Do you know what I mean? And if I
Right.
like
Yeah.
openly talking, just like whatever, like not being crass, but like I talk about it, but never talked. And I didn't even realize I did that because I don't even know why. So I
Yeah.
love that you are diving into these deep conversations. And, I think it's needed. I think that there's a
Yeah.
lot of healing that needs to happen there. So I'm really grateful. And
Yeah.
thank you for being just you. I appreciate all of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Sandra, we're gonna jump over to you next, baby. Was there something that really jumped out to you? And I'm gonna put some of these comments up here on the screen too while we're going through and finishing this. All right, Sandra.
So my favorite moment actually happened with your husband, Tammy. So he was very sweet. He came over to me day one and just encouraged me, and it's gonna make me cry. I didn't know I'd cry about that.
Oh,
But he told me how grateful he was that I was there and that I was speaking on the topic that I was speaking on. And then he came to my class and he brought a bunch of your kids, and he was just so supportive. Yeah. So he was just so supportive, and I really appreciated that. It was just really sweet of him. So that was
that's
my favorite. That was my special moment for the conference.
Yeah, that's super precious, especially because my husband and I, we kind of tease that he has a built-in bullshit meter. And so he's very selective about which classes he goes to and where he gives his energy. And I literally could not find him like most of the time. I'm like, babe, where are you? Because he was in classes. I'm literally like getting ready to get this tattoo. I got a tattoo at the conference. And while I was getting my tattoo, I'm like, hey, I need you to come hold my hand. And he's like, I'm in a class. I don't want to come right now. He finally did end up coming. It's so funny.
That's awesome.
But he also did share with me how much he appreciated your class. So I want to echo that. Like it was very helpful in my own family's healing, both when you spoke in Idaho and this time. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, Leanne, are you ready? This is going to be your turn. I'm going to have you talk extra loud up close to the device that you're on so that we can hear you. Okay, here we go.
Very good instructions. Thank you. My favorite part of the conference was when prior vendors from my company that I had helped in the past or there at your conference, and then the lady that was the poster that I was using for advertising, and they didn't know, and we hugged and we connected, and they got to hang out with me and my kids, and that was good, reconnecting with people. I just came out of the 8-year retirement.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much, Leanne. That's cool that you got to reconnect with those relationships and be able to, see them again and have that time. Thank you so much. That's so beautiful. I love that. And tell me, where are you located?
At this moment?
Yeah. Well, where are you located? Not this exact moment. I mean, like, where's your business based out of?
I am. I literally live life well, and so I'm right now in my cabin on the porch of the cabin in Island Park, Idaho, and
Oh my gosh, fun.
I have family around me, and then we have Karen from the Sound Act.
Oh yeah, Karen Lady from Illinois. She came up to hang out with you after meeting you. You guys didn't even know her at the conference until at the conference, right?
And
That's
then
what I'm talking about, y'all.
driving as well. They're leaving Salt Lake right now.
That's so precious.
I teach living your lifestyle and enjoying life and being slow. So I am restoring a house in Salt Lake, and that is where the Healing Center's brick and mortar is in Salt Lake. You can figure out, and I'm just getting launched. So
That's so awesome.
on Friday morning at your conference. Thank you for everything.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so happy to have you be a part of our conference. I know some of you, the speakers that are on had to jump off and go, and I apologize. I feel like maybe I'm a little long-winded. I keep interrupting people, but I just like got so much to say. So we'll go just maybe a few more minutes. We'll go ahead and end with this last question. Then we'll go ahead and let people share a link and also how they can be connected with. So the next question before we do that is, if you were in charge of giving out an award to one of the vendors, what award would you give them and to whom? And this is just kind of a fun little creative way to do a shout out for one of your favorites or somebody that really stood out to you. Like, so who would like to go first? Tomasa, are you ready for this one, or you want me to go to someone else for now? She says go to someone else. So who's got it? Okay, Kelly's ready. Kelly, go ahead and jump in, girl.
Yeah, I have to go right after this, but
Perfect.
I think we should give an award for like most miscongeniality.
Yeah,
And I would totally give that to Marianne Walker.
awesome.
She was just, I mean, even in the Facebook feeds, you can see she got to everybody, got pictures, and she always was just so full of energy. And I love her smile, and she's just so warm and inviting. You just want to, talk to her, be near her, kind of like Tammy Jr.
No, but we're both type ones. Like, she definitely like freaking won my heart from the moment that I met her. This was back when she lived in Kansas, literally she lived in Kansas and flew out to be a speaker a few years ago. And I was like, dude, can I manifest that you move by me? Because I want to live by you. I want to be your BFF. And she moved out here now and lives not too far away from me. And I'm just like in heaven about it.
Yeah.
So I love that. I told her, I said, I manifested you moving by me. And she's like, I'm down with it. So
yeah, that's what I would do.
That's a great award. I really like that. That's awesome. Marianne, did you hear that? We nominated you for an award. That might be kind of fun to do, actually. Maybe we should do awards next year just for fun, right? All right, Camilla, do you have one?
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but she had white hair on one side and like red on the other, and she was doing the vibrating stuff. And
now, coming from you saying that, what does that mean?
I didn't see very many vendors, but at the end I was so sore and I went over there and I just felt like she took such good care. I know she was selling her little things, but like just the love and care that she had was really, really sweet. And I just loved that. I would give the prize to her.
Oh, that's awesome. What would you call the prize?
Oh, Miss
Caring or
Love and Care. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Who you mean? Do you guys all know who you're talking about? Was it the little handheld massagers?
Yes.
That she was using on people? It wasn't too far away from you, kind of kitty corner a little bit.
Yeah, she was a ways down, but she was at an end booth. And then they had the ones that go around your neck and you hold on to the thing and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
I own
that was
all
awesome.
of them.
You do? Yeah, I just ordered some when I
Yeah.
was there.
They are amazing. I actually
Yeah.
had one sent to my dad the first time that I met them, and he never said anything to me. And like a few months later, I went up to go see my dad. He lives in Idaho Falls. I went up to go see him, and he's like, look what Dan sent me. And I'm like, Dan did not send that to you. I said, your favorite kid sent that to you. He's like, oh, you sent that to me? Yeah. He's like, I use it every day. So
So cool.
those things are amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited
That's
to get
very
mine.
cool. I like that you nominated her for that. That's very cool. Anybody else have a vendor that you would give an award to? You have it nominated. Okay, Sandra, I'll let you go ahead and go next.
Okay, I don't know his name, but he was straight across from me. It was like the Hope Water.
Oh yeah,
You
that
know,
was Bill Bosshart. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, and is that the older gentleman that was in
Yes.
the
He
booth?
was
Yeah,
also teaching the clay and the salt classes.
yeah, he would get the award for most sold on his own message. Like he was incredible. He would stand there and anybody that walked by, he would just jump out in front of them and he'd be like, "Hey, you want a drink of my water?" You know?
Yeah, and it's like this water bottle with
Yeah, exactly.
mud in it, right?
He was so awesome. I just had so much fun watching him because he was not afraid to, just be right there and be engaged in his own message. So that would be my award.
That is amazing. I love that. And he totally sold me on it because I'm kind of a water snob. In fact, the water here in my area, I live in a small town, was what was the word? Contaminated. And we were on a boil only order for like a month before the conference. I know. Could you imagine, you guys? I'm like, why not throw some extra little stress in the mix right before a conference, right? But anyway, I try to drink the water now and I'm like, I can't. And so when he was trying to get me to drink that, I'm like, I'm already sold on the idea of clean water. You know what I mean? But he really has a powerful message, and actually what he's doing is helping people to have clean water around the world. So it's really powerful. I told him, I said, I'm gonna have you come on and speak sometime about your humanitarian efforts because it's like so important. So I couldn't even imagine not having a choice to have clean water. You know what I mean? So what a powerful gift. That's awesome. All right, did anybody else have one more? We'll go ahead and do one more. Okay, go ahead.
So I don't remember the name of them, but it's a naturopath doctor. He had all these people in his booth. He wasn't even there present, but he was on a Zoom camera. And so I just and I know I was coming back from the bathroom or something, and I passed by them, and they're like, Dwayne wanted me to go check them out because are they for real, Tomas? Are they legitimate?
Yeah.
To me. And so I go look and I was like, yeah, they're naturopaths. Go for it. You need to do this. And so anyway, I remember I went and talked to Leah. So my boyfriend sent me down here to see if this is for real. And I see you're naturopath, so I think you're fine. So she goes, well, here, you can take the test too. So then they pulled me over real quick. I'm like, I gotta get back. I got a client waiting. And so anyway, what award would I give them? Because they were giving, they were doing saliva test, pH test.
Oh yeah.
And then they were doing urine pH test, which I never got to give them because anyway, and then they were doing your blood pressure. And then I just saw these people on the camera, Zoom camera with the naturopath. He was talking to them. And I know Dwayne brought a paper back that showed him. I'm like, okay, I'll do it, but you need to do that. I know, I understand all that, right? But I want to say, what award would I give them? The most aggressive wellness and supportive, actually, because he had a serious support team there. There were like 3, 4, 5 people there. I don't even know how many were there. And they were ready to go helping everyone. And so I thought, wow, this is amazing. So, they had their free thing and then they had their upgrade thing. Because Dwayne's like, I don't know about that. I'm like, you need to go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were doing free wellness checks for people. And Dr. Scott James, who was the naturopath who was joining, he was actually not able to come in person. So he was in Missouri and literally just getting on Zoom and helping people. And yeah, it's really cool that they were able to do that. And I'm throwing some links down in the comments so that you guys can definitely check out some of the ways that you can connect with some of the speakers that we have on. So just in case you're wondering what is going on in the feed, down there in the comments, that's what's happening right now. We're just going ahead and adding that so that you guys can get that. Sylvia, it seemed like you had a vendor award that you had picked out also. I don't want to leave you hanging there, girls. So go ahead and share that with us.
Okay, so the people 2 doors down from me they had sound chairs, and they were amazing sound chairs, and they let me come over and rest and like get recentered after doing, I don't know, like eight clients in a row, and it was fabulous. But it was, I needed a little boost myself, and so
Yeah.
they welcomed me over. And then, in fact, that later they had somebody on their table, and they were just talking to them, and it was a husband and wife team, and the husband comes over and he's like, I think I need to send these people your way. And so he made room on my little schedule to slip them in. I just think just their thoughtfulness and consideration, and reaching out and just gently inviting and helping me heal a little bit.
Yeah, that's so nice. Well, I love that that's exactly what our vendors do, not just, with other people, but with each other. I just
Yeah.
appreciate that so much. You guys are freaking awesome. Like for reals. I just appreciate you so much. And now, Sylvia, I'm going to have you go ahead and go first since we've got you on right now. Tell us what the link is that you shared. And then people will kind of have an idea of what that is. What is this link right here that you have?
That is my scheduling link. I have just kind of one product right now, and that is a 60-minute appointment with me. And we discuss what's going on in your life. We look at what you want to improve or what you want help with. We see if there are any energy blocks and check in with your ancestors, see if there's anything generational that we need to understand and validate and release. And then we do hypnotherapy if needed. And the hypnotherapy part of it is actually quite short, and then you leave feeling amazing. So come sign up. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's awesome. Let's see, Leanne, I'm just waiting for you to share a link with me so I can share it with everyone as well. So if you have that, please feel free to do that. And Tomasa, would you like to share what is the link that you have provided for us as well? We've got.
So there's a link. I actually gave you a shortened link, which is the bit.ly link. But it's a free gift I'm giving to specifically light workers, anyone who's looking to preserve their energy. So it's a how to preserve your energy master checklist for light workers. Basically, this is a way. It's a list, but there's also more in it because I think there's even a link to my infographic on self-care for healers.
That's awesome.
And then also I have a whole video on how to clean out your chakras daily. That is linked on there.
Cool. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this last link that you just shared is just a little bit shorter, but those of you guys who are watching and you see this in the comments, that's what it is now. You know what it is. So it's not just a bunch of like mumbled, jumbled letters. It's a link that will take you directly to it. And Tomasa is pretty amazing. She's been doing this for 28 years. I feel so grateful that she's come across my path. I met her, was it 2020 when we very first connected?
I believe it was right at the end of the pandemic.
Yeah.
It was either 2020 or 2021. And so it was, yeah, I remember us connecting, and I was super busy running a medicine wheel at the time. And the interesting thing is, like, I kept looking for the link to get back in touch with you. And then magically it occurred because our friend, Jermaine Robinson, said, Tomasa, she sent me an email. Tammy's looking for speakers. I've been trying to find her link to get in touch with her. Everything's synchronistic, right?
Yes. I totally love Jermaine. So that was like freaking totally inspired. I love her so much. And you honestly have sent so many other speakers now. Charla, who spoke at the mastermind, who I actually have a phone call with her in like 5 minutes. And then also Dr. Gigi. And Dr. Gigi brought several people who I now consider dear friends, like almost instant friends, just like fast. Because they're genuine kindness and sincere, like Bonita, oh my heck. She brought me a freaking card. And I was like, oh, I said, I'm gonna keep this card forever. I just love her so much. So thank you so much for sending other incredible people our way. Has been just such a gem of a you have been such a gem of a person. And I have heard from so many people how grateful that they are that they got the chance to meet you and work with you and connect with you. And I mean, this is over the course of now. How many conferences have you been to? Like 6?
5.
5?
I think it's 5. Yeah, 2 last year, and this is the 3rd one this year.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I just feel so grateful.
I'm ready to come back to I'm ready to go to Idaho now, I think.
Are you? Idaho's cool. I like it. Well, we do have 3 conferences that are currently scheduled. We've got Logan, Utah is August 24th. We've got Pocatello, Idaho at Idaho State University. That's going to be on September 28th. And then we'll be in St. George on November 9th. So lots of great fun things happening. And of course, those are a lot more affordable because they're not, with, thousands of people. So it's a little bit different. Okay, Leanne, looks like you guys are ready to come back on. Go ahead and share with us a little bit about what you guys have at your healing center. And remember to talk really loud so we can hear you.
I got to make sure I don't touch anything.
You're good. You're good. You're totally good.
The Spirit of Angels Healing Center is my late husband's dream. And so he had it named, and it was creating wealth to open that. He wanted it to be a nonprofit for veterans, police officers, and firefighters. Everybody who's willing to risk their life to serve others.
Wow.
And they can come to the healing center and receive treatment sessions, attend classes, attend events, and there's an endowment that will be paying for that. So it will be free of charge for people who have trauma from serving.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Open to the community so civilians can come too. And then I manifested this. I manifested at the beginning of the year that I have 12 practitioners that can utilize my space.
Mm.
There in Canyon Rim, and then you just require to charge a phone number, and then a donation of 10% goes into the endowment for utilizing.
That's really beautiful. That's really beautiful.
Healing Center. And Michelle Rogers from Instant Healings is our very first practitioner.
Mhm. That's awesome. So the people who have been veterans and those who have risked their life for other people, firefighters and other people, they can go to this website right here, spiritofangelshealingcenter.com, and they can go ahead and find out more about that, right? Okay, wonderful.
Everyone can go to that website. We also post our classes and our activities. Just recently hosted a summer solstice celebration.
That's awesome.
We had ceremonies and fire releases. And those are free.
Awesome.
And whatever facilitator facilitates that, usually is Rochelle or the South.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So I just wanted to make sure that I'm repeating a little bit of what you said in case people can't hear you because the volume is so low. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 1.5. So I think I kind of heard, but let me just repeat back to see if there was anything that I missed. People who have, need of support services for trauma, they can come to this website. Anybody can come to this website, as a matter of fact. But you also have other things like the summer solstice celebration and the full moon baths and other things as well. So you guys go ahead and go on over to spiritofangelshealingcenter.com. And thank you so much, Leanne, for sharing that with us and telling us about that. We really appreciate you. Did I get it? Okay. Awesome. I just wanted to make sure. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I want to go ahead and just end today with sharing just a little bit of my heart. This was our big 10-year celebration. I've had some people say, well, you're making such a big deal out of 10 years. Like, it's just 10 years. And I'm like, what? Like, do you know me? Because before I, did this, I didn't stay with things for 10 years, really, well, except for my husband. My husband and I have been, for 26 years now. But um, this is a big deal for me. And I want to share with you a little bit about why. Before I started doing the conferences, I felt really alone and I actually felt really isolated. And in fact, I was dealing with some issues that prohibited me from leaving the house. So when Tomasa brought that up, I thought, oh, that's kind of ironic because I felt inspired to share just a little bit about that today. I was very lonely and I didn't dare leave the house. And I was actually homeschooling my kids too for a time there. And what I've come to learn is that healing and connection is the exact opposite of the other end of that spectrum, right? Like it's like we're talking about things like loneliness and despair and feeling like you can't go on. But having connection and having hope and healing, like that's just really powerful. And it's a big part about why I do the conferences. It's a big part about why I've continued to do them for so many years and so many each year. And I want you to know that there's no way possible that I could have done all of this without the vendors and the speakers and the volunteers and my staff and my family supporting me, all of the people who made it possible just by sharing the event, even if they weren't like a vendor or a speaker, but just sharing the event to let other people know about it. It just, none of this would be possible without all of these beautiful people that were willing to show up for others. And I just wanted to express my intense, like overwhelming gratitude for each one of you, how you showed up. And I want to thank you. And if you weren't able to come this time, but you wanted to, perhaps we'll see you at another conference. I have a pretty kind of a funny little motto. It's just hashtag no guilt. Like that's it. Like it's no problem. We'll see you at the next one. We've got a few that are coming up. Logan, Utah is going to be on August 24th. So that's, about 2 months away. And if you are interested in being a vendor or a speaker or a volunteer, or you'd like to come, we do not yet have it up on the website, but you should expect to see that by tomorrow night. So watch for that. Our website is just energyhealingconference.com. And then, of course, if you can't come to that one, but you'd like to go to another, we've got Pocatello, Idaho, which is really not that far away from me. It's like an hour and a half north of where I live. But some of you might be coming from other states and coming. It's a really nice hub. If you're in Montana or Wyoming or towards the top of Idaho, even like Western, Washington. Hi, Jordan. Or all these other places. It's an easy hub. It's right off of I-15. It's a very nice facility. It's very affordable, and it's just a beautiful opportunity. Now, I'm going to be sending out a survey to those of you who did attend the event, and we value your feedback. We are looking for who are your favorite vendors, who were the people who really reached out to you, who touched you, who made a difference, who were those classes and the activities that you felt a transformative experience, that you felt a shift for yourself. We want to know about those experiences. We would like to, kind of forward that, those kind words or let people know about those kind of things. And then also on the other end, if you did have some suggestions on how we can improve, we are always looking for those as well. I do have 8 children, which is kind of crazy. I still kind of get blown away. Like, what? I have 8 kids. But I do. I birthed 8 children. So then in addition to that, I have son-in-laws and I have grandkids and all of those beautiful blessings, right? And I am like, doing other stuff, right? So when the feedback comes in on the survey, I want you to know that I read every single one of those. I personally read every single one. And I really do value that information that comes in, and I take it to heart. And I know we're not perfect. I know that there's some things we could have probably done better, and I'm grateful for the the information that you share with me. Um, and then alternatively, like some people have said, like, okay, you are making such a big deal out of that 10-year anniversary. Are you going to keep doing these? And the answer is yes, I'm going to keep doing these. This has been not just a passion project for me, it is like who I am. And people who have been attending our conferences, they know that. They know that this is like not just like this little side gig for me. This is what I do. This is who I am. This is how I show up and serve people in the world. And I just want you to know that like this conference is what I wish had existed for me before, which is honestly why it means so much to me. And I'm not a freaking guru. Not at all. I appreciate when people have kind words to say about the work that I do, because I put my whole heart into it. But honestly, you guys, like I'm a student of this work. Like I'm going to the classes just like you. I've been doing Jana McKinney's breathwork certification class since January, right? And I've been able to utilize and get support from the people who are at our conferences, and it has not just helped my life to improve, but it's changed me. And I'm just so grateful, and that's why I continue doing these, and that's why I'm gonna keep going. So thank you for filling out the survey. We are going to be doing some giveaways, and we're going to be doing drawings for people who do fill out that survey. So I'm very grateful for those of you who take the time to do that. And I also wanted to let you know, for those who weren't able to attend, we have an offer for you that is absolutely incredible. It's for the MP3 format, so the audio recordings of the conference, and it's for $35. It literally makes it less than 50 cents per class, which is like ridiculous. It's literally just enough for me to be able to pay for the professional editing and then storing the information, like the actual digital storage. So it covers that. That's it. And so it really is kind of like a freebie in that way, right? But yeah, I thank you so much. And I just wanted to do this little after party just for fun, to be able to hear some of the fun things that people had to say. We may end up doing another one just because we have so many speakers and so many vendors. We would like to give a chance for more voices to be heard. So we may end up doing another one. But huge thanks to all of the supporters of this event. I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. All right, we'll talk to you guys again. Thanks.